Welcome to the 23rd Founders Day celebrations. We are extremely grateful to all the distinguished guests and parents who have taken out time from their busy schedules to witness this cultural extravaganza. The chief guest, Sri Shraddhaluji Ranade, is about to arrive shortly. I humbly request all the guests to settle down and switch their mobile phones in silent mode. Also, we have professional photographers covering the entire event. Therefore, I request them not to take pictures. Thank you. For the past 23 years, Seth M.R. Jaipuria School has been growing, learning to share, care and love. Our family is a circle of strength and strong bonding. With every union, it grows, and every crisis faced together makes this circle stronger. Today, we stand here, proud to be a part of this prestigious institution and are highly privileged to have the task of welcoming the distinguished gathering for the most awaited annual function, the 23rd Founders Day. On behalf of the entire Jaipurian fraternity, I warmly welcome our chief guest for the evening, Sri Shraddhalu Ranade. We are highly valued to have someone as learned, insightful and sophic as you, sir. I also welcome our beloved Vice Chairperson, Mrs. Anjali Jaipuria, whose benign presence brings a smile to every face. We love you, Anjali ma'am, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Light symbolizes knowledge and wisdom. They are the everlasting wealth. The flame of the lamp always burns upwards, and similarly, one should acquire knowledge and take one towards higher ideals. Our school motto also says, Tamaso ma jyotirgamay, which means from darkness to light and from ignorance to knowledge. I now invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Shraddhalu Ranade, our Vice Chairperson, Mrs. Anjali Jaipuria, Principal, Mrs. Pramni Chopra, Vice Principal Academics, Mrs. Asha Chadha, Vice Principal Administration, Dr. Anupam Vidyarthi, all the HMs and academic coordinators of middle and senior school to light the lamp of knowledge. वागीशाद्या सुमनसा सर्व अर्थानाम उपक्रमे यम कृत्वा सर्व सर्वेषु tam namami gajananam. We now have an invocation to Lord Ganesha to seek his blessings. We are extremely grateful to our beloved Vice Chairperson who has taught us not only to dream but also to fulfill our dreams. She is a visionary who has, with a constant guidance and support, taught us the meaning of perfection. Her very aura radiates positivity. I now invite Anjali ma'am to say a few words.
Teachers, most of all our chief guest Shraddhaluji. Without much ado and formality, I would like to begin the address with a story, a short and a very inspirational story that I want to share with you on parenting. The story of Thomas Edison. Did he discover? Invent? Yes? Really? Is that right, Shraddhaluji? The word hello also. Okay, I've not heard of that. And the motion camera as well, and the record player. Okay. So when Thomas Edison was a young schoolboy, and he had still not learned how to read and write, one day his teacher gave him a letter and said, "This letter is for your mother." He came back home, he had still not learned how to read and write, so he didn't read the letter. He gave it to his mother. And his mother opened the letter, dear parents, and with very tearful eyes, she read the letter out to the boy, to her son. The letter she read out, "Your son is a genius. This school is too small for him, and we don't have such great teachers that we can educate him. So please teach him for yourself. Teach him by yourself." And Thomas Edison's mother did the entire parenting and teaching of her son, pre-primary, primary, middle and senior school. Many years later, after Thomas Edison's mother died, and he'd already become world famous for his invention of all that we just talked about, one day he was looking through his family things, and he stumbled upon that letter. And he opened it, and he cried for hours after he read it. The letter said, "Your son is addled." Addled means mentally challenged, and our school cannot teach him. Please, we are taking him out of the school. You can teach him yourself. For hours, Edison cried, and then he wrote in his diary, "Thomas Alva Edison was an addled child, a mentally challenged child, that by a hero mother became the genius of the century." My dear parents, this is love. All parents love their children. You all love your children. But let us analyze for a moment a parent's love for a child. When we sit down and we pressurize our child with names and numbers, and we say we are doing it so that the child becomes great, that is really not love. It is our ambition, which we, cover up in the garb of love. Edison's mother loved Edison immensely, just like you love. But she worked on educating her son in a brilliant fashion, very brilliant fashion, because she did it in a systematic manner. And that's what we need to understand. There was no pressure on these small little young children, learn this, ratto this, do this. No. There was a systematic method of educating her child. And what is it that we parents can do to sculpt a systematic growth of our children? That's what we'll talk about today. To become a surgeon, what do we have to learn first of all about? We have to learn about the instruments, the equipments that we have to use as a surgeon, right? Similarly, we want to become a carpenter. What are we taught about first of all? We are first told this is a saw, this is a hammer, these are nails, these are screws. And you have to understand your equipments which you will use for gaining knowledge. So there are so many parents sitting here. What are the tools for gaining knowledge for a student? Can some parent tell me? What are the tools for gaining knowledge for a student? Come on, parents. Yes? Books are not your personal tools, no? What are the tools within yourself by which you will gain knowledge? Books are some, yes? Reading. No, but what are the tools by which you will read? Yes, you've got. What are the tools by which you will read? You will use your eyes. You will use, yes, your brains. You will use your emotions to gain knowledge. So, first of all, you're going to use your senses. Your senses are your instruments for gaining knowledge. Now, if we want to bring about a systematic growth of these young children, what do we have to do? We have to make the child aware of the presence of these senses. Then what do we have to do? Then we have to make these senses aware of all that is beautiful around these senses. Just enclose them and surround them with everything that's truthful, that's beautiful, that's good. Show them the ritasya panthaha, the right path. Show them everything that's truthful, good and beautiful, right? Make them aware of their sight, make them aware of their hearing, make them aware of their taste, make them aware of the sense of touch, make them aware of all their senses. Make their senses grow to appreciate the marvels of God's nature. Encourage that wow factor in them. Look, wow, this is so beautiful, right? That's real education at this age. Let their sight enjoy the beauty of a sunrise. Kabhi utke to dekhiye savere. Let's look at the sunrise, how beautiful it is. Let them enjoy the colors in the wings of a butterfly. Take a walk in the park in the spring and say, look at the colors in this flower. How beautiful is God's nature, right? Talking about the sight. What about hearing? Let the hearing awaken to the sweet sound of chirping of birds. We take it for granted, But when a child is young and you make the child aware, ये देखो कितना सुंदर लग रहा है ये sound, कितना सुंदर है. How nice the child will become aware of his hearing, right? The pitter-patter of rain, the purring of a kitten. When they hear all this and they are made aware of it, their senses develop. And it is these senses which will help them to gain knowledge later on. Let their sense of touch thrill by the touch of the drops of the rain. When it's the first rain shower and you tell them, come, let's just feel the rain coming on our hands. And the little children, let them thrill at that, right? Let them thrill at the touch of the grandma's soft wrinkled hands. Or let them feel the coarseness of the helper, whose hands have become coarse because in the course of her serving us. So make them aware of these things, right? Let their sense of smell, recognize the smell of rain in the mud. They should be able to recognize it. Mummy, wo smell aa rahi na? I think it's going to rain, or it is a fresh rain in the mud. That smell is so different. The smell of Papa's cologne. It's just actually developing their senses, develop their taste buds, so they can experience the difference between sweet, very sweet, bitter, sour. Very important, one more thing which is really, really important is making them aware of the different emotions that they feel. Happiness, sadness, joy, anger. They have a right to be angry also. We also get angry sometimes. When they feel angry, let them go through the emotion. But in the night, in the evening, when they're going to sleep, they become quiet. Talk to them about that experience. You got angry at that time. This is how we did. Make them aware of the emotion passing through them, so that when they become older, when that emotion passes through them, they are not unaware that that emotion is passing through them. They are aware of it, and then they are in control. But this has to be done when the children are really much younger, making them aware of their emotions. Right? These are the tools that will help them to gain knowledge in a much more systematic fashion. And all this can be done when our children are really young. And this can be done by you, my dear parents, when you substitute your ambition with genuine love for your children. Love is perhaps one of the strongest forces in the world. We all have heard of the name of Albert Einstein. Kids, Albert Einstein was famous for? Yes, E is equal to MC square. But does anybody know that he was famous for something else also? You know what? He wrote so many letters which were not published then. And later on, these letters have been disclosed and they've been given to the Hebrew University. And in one of the letters, he is written on the force of love. And he has said that love is an even more powerful force than energy. Should I read out his letter? Just a few lines from his letter. This letter he has written to his daughter Lizelle. He says, and I quote, "There is an extremely powerful force that so far science has not found a formal explanation to. This universal force is love. Love is light that enlightens those who give and those who receive. Love is gravity because it makes some people feel attracted to others. Love is power because it multiplies the best we have. And most of all, love is God, and God is love." And then he said something very beautiful. We all talk about bombs and some things of weapons of mass destruction. Look at what his idea is, such a powerful idea. He says, and I quote again, "Perhaps we are not yet ready to make a bomb of love, a device powerful enough to entirely destroy the hate, selfishness and greed that devastate the planet. However," and here he's telling us about a great discovery. "However, each individual carries within them a small but powerful generator of love whose energy is waiting to be released." Unquote. All of us have within us that little bomb of love. And the power is so great that if we want, we can release that energy. And when we release that love from within us, because within us is the soul, God Himself, and God is love. So, my friends, let us close our eyes for 30 seconds. Let us leave our cell phones for some time, sir. Let us close our eyes for 30 seconds. Find that dynamo of love within us, within our hearts. Concentrate on it and release waves of that love from within us. With that love, let us heal all plants, animals, human beings on this planet, and thereby let us heal Mother Earth herself. Just for 30 seconds, let us close our eyes, dear students, and let us release that love from within us. How did you feel? How did it feel to be in touch with that huge power of love within yourself? We don't take out time to experience the most beautiful things are lying inside us, right? And they become even more beautiful when we give it, when we release that love to heal the planet, heal somebody around us. It's so simple and it's so beautiful, right? Before I conclude, Team Jaipuria, 3 cheers for Team Jaipuria. Hip hip. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Many thanks to each one of you.